This is a discussion of Stardom hot takes and unpopular Stardom opinions for the month of October 2025. Today I'm covering ideas about Stardom that you probably don't hear every day. I might also throw one of my Stardom hot takes into the mix just for fun. Hot take, noun. A piece of writing or speech, especially on the internet, giving someone's personal opinions about a topic. Usually strong opinions that have not been carefully thought about and that many people are likely to disagree with. It will be hard to come to a consensus regarding the temperature of these hot takes across the board. You might find one to be lukewarm while someone else considers it scorching. The major goal, regardless, is to encourage Stardom conversations and conjecture. If you find these discussions valuable, please give this a like, subscribe to the channel, or leave a comment to let me know what you think. Our first submission involves Stardom's most successful faction these days. I think H.A.T.E should split into two different factions. This viewer would like a civil war storyline to take shape, cutting the unholy H.A.T.E alliance in half. On one side, Natsuko Tora, Ruaka, Momo Watanabe, and Fukigen Death, and on the other side, Saya Kamitani, Konami, Rina, and Azusa Inaba. There are probably a lot of interesting ways to go when it comes to internal H.A.T.E turmoil, and we might be seeing some of that develop further at Stardom Crimson Nightmare on November 3rd. But as for this idea, there are some elements of it that make sense. For instance, Natsuko Tora has often felt either overshadowed or threatened in her leadership role, and the clearly more decorated and celebrated Saya Kamitani could attempt a mutiny at any moment. However, separating Fukigen Death from Rina and Konami is something I wouldn't do personally, especially with these three being the Artist of Stardom champions at the time of this recording. And in general, I don't think splitting H.A.T.E in half is better than just kicking two members of the faction out altogether, starting with Momo Watanabe for sure. Our second submission deals with the unification of two major titles, and it sounds pretty grim. I'm afraid they're planning to merge the Red Belt with IWGP, leaving only IWGP as the highest belt. This viewer added that since Saya Kamitani is confirmed for Wrestle Kingdom already, and since H.A.T.E has voiced interest in competing at Wrestle Kingdom, the two might end up facing each other in a fight that effectively allows the IWGP title to absorb the red belt. This is one of those silly sounding decisions that I think is pretty much within the realm of possibility. We saw a significant Stardom feud, which was H.A.T.E versus Sari, get hijacked by New Japan in the month of October. We've also seen modern Stardom take significant leaps to set itself apart from Rossy Ogawa's earlier incarnation, the dissolving of Queen's Quest and Oedo-Tai, the reduction of time limit draws, the changes to tournament structure, and the move towards less predictable booking. Is it really that far-fetched to think entire titles could also be altered? But either way, plausible or implausible, I think this is a bad idea. The IWGP has a somewhat shaky history, and trying to give it a boost in prestige by consuming a better belt with a much longer lineage is not likely to make folks happy. Plus, if Bushiroad thinks there are too many belts floating around, they're the ones who've contributed to that problem with the championships they've printed over the last few years. Why should the senior, prestigious Stardom belts pay the price for that? The third hot take comes from the person talking right now. Stardom's 2026 depends on Hanan, Rina, and Hina. If we go back to the last month of 2024 and the first 4 months of 2025, we'll see that they were made electric and record-breaking largely due to major contributions by the constantly escalating feud between Saya Kamitani and Tam Nakano. I don't think 2026 is likely to have a similar fuel source working for it. Moreover, Mina Shirakawa, Tam Nakano, and Mayu Iwatani have left Stardom this year. And those are all very big names. Another big name, Micah is still out of action at the time of this recording, and we don't know when she's coming back. Barely anyone left in the company has ever worn the red belt, and the same statement can be made when talking about the white belt. Generating gigantic hype, epic stories, and big matches is arguably much harder for Stardom than it has been in a while, which is why the sisters Hanan, Rina, and Hina are going to be pivotal pieces of Stardom's 2026. Rina's play for the white belt and subsequent reign has major potential, and this is something that will need to be strongly executed. Stardom should also very seriously consider running a high-stakes show in the Tochigi Prefecture, with these three sisters acting as hometown heroes. The Cinderella tournament of 2026 could involve any of the sisters as a critical component, and with Hina having lost the future belt earlier than she probably should have, 2026 will be crucial for her so that she doesn't cool off completely, and so that what's left of her momentum doesn't evaporate. Without the sisters' involvement in exciting storylines, Stardom might end up heavily banking solely on Saya Kamitani, who now has a notably small list of top powerhouses to contend with these days. Our fourth hot take is all about Stardom's end of the year show, Dream Queendom, in December. There's a possibility the red belt isn't defended at Dream Queendom this year. This viewer also suspects that a Saya Kamitani vs. H.A.T.E match is in the works for Wrestle Kingdom. Therefore, their guess is that Saya Kamitani, whom they are assuming will still be red belt champion by this time, won't be double booked in two big matches that are so close to each other. I think it would be a cool, creative exercise to see how massive of a card Stardom could make for Dream Queendom without booking the red belt. But at the same time, I just can't see them passing up the opportunity to get those Saya Kamitani ticket sales. Last year's Dream Queendom is Stardom's third biggest show of all time, and Stardom likely believes they can make this year's Dream Queendom a very appealing event. We also don't know for a fact that Saya and H.A.T.E are fighting each other at Wrestle Kingdom. For example, this year's Wrestle Kingdom had plenty of room for Stardom fighters across multiple matches. I just feel like Stardom has too much forward progress with Kamitani not to let her be a primary component of the December 29th bonanza. What Stardom hot takes have you come across online these days? Which of the unpopular opinions from today has been the most memorable? And what ideas about Stardom have been on your mind? And be sure to check out the previous Stardom hot takes and unpopular opinion videos, which you can find in the description below. If you found this discussion valuable, please give this a like, subscribe to the channel, or leave a comment to let me know what you think. Thanks everyone for your submissions, and thanks for watching.